If you are looking for movies featuring older woman and younger man relationship, in this video, we will recommend the top 10 older woman and younger man romance movies. So, check it out. Number 10. Giraffe, 2019. Director, Anna Sophie Hartman.
We connect the old fiber cable line to the houses for the construction worker.
A tunnel will be built to connect Denmark and Germany. The present sets in motion towards the future. Change hangs in the air. Dara, an ethnologist, arrives to document the houses tagged for demolition. The young Pole, Luczek, and his colleagues prepare the future construction site. Keita works on the ferry, steadily moving people, their stories, and goods to and fro. Birta and Life leave their house that has been passed down for generations. Agnes's life resounds in her diaries, collectibles in the walls of her home, which will soon be demolished. A Danish summer. Long days turn into blue nights. People meet and part ways again. Number 9. How He Fell in Love, 2015. Director, Mark Myers.
Don't worry about what your neighbors are doing. This is your practice.
Your blue eyes show as we walk through.
Travis is a young musician, and his band means everything to him. But despite having Monica's support and love, he feels lost. He believes that he should make some changes in his life, so he decides to sign up for Ellen's yoga classes, whom he met at a wedding. She is married to Henry. But when she meets Travis, nothing stops her from starting an affair with him. This passionate romance that takes place in the New York City gradually turns into a romance and deep connection that threatens to destroy his orderly life. Number 8. Blush, 2019. Director, Deborah Eisenstadt.
I really have to remember not to mention that.
You smell so good.
Kathy, a stay-at-home mother, whose loneliness and sublimated regret of having given up her career to dedicate herself to her family are all too evident. Her life has become an extremely orderly routine in which she aggressively approaches her distant teenage daughter, Tara. She fights in vain for the slightest attention from her husband, Matthew. She then becomes friends with the quirky neighbor and begins to experience things like never before. The problem is that soon her newfound sense of freedom seems to get out of control. Number 7. The Other End, 2016. Director, Felipe Scholl.
Acho que sempre.
Alô?
Por que você não fala comigo, Otávio?
Diogo, Tom Karabachian, a 17-year-old young man, has a little quirk. He likes to call his mother's female therapy patients, and while listening to them on the phone, one of these patients is Angela, Corinne Telles, a woman who has just left her husband. When Diogo calls Angela, he thinks it is her husband she is calling. She begins to have a relationship with the silence on the other end of the line. But when she finds out that she is Diogo, she is disgusted. She is furious, but most of all, she is attracted to this person who showed so much interest in her. So what started out as a very unusual relationship soon evolves into something positive for both of them. Number 6. Out of the Blue, 2022. Director, Neil LaBute.
You come around here often? Or?
This is kind of my secret spot.
I know about it.
I mean, for my husband.
After spending time in prison on an assault charge, Connor Bates, Ray Nicholson, now works at a library and spends his free time running, swimming, and trying to piece together his world. When he meets Marilyn Chambers, Diane Kruger, the wife of a wealthy businessman, they collide in an intense physical and emotional relationship, and he plunges headlong into the fantasy of adultery. The ex-con, with a heart of gold, is apparently destined for the trophy wife. The only problem in their idyllic new life together, Marilyn is trapped in a nightmare with an abusive husband and a vulnerable stepdaughter. Number 5. Rendez-Vous, 2015. Director, Antoinette Boymer.
Respect voor elkaar.
Als hij straks af is, dan komt alles goed.
She had a dream and achieving it didn't seem that difficult, or so she thought. Simone inherits a dilapidated farmhouse in France and makes her way there with her husband Eric and their 2 children. Her dream is to turn the house into a bed and breakfast, but as the hectic pace of the rebuilding gets underway, she gets caught up in the romance and chaos of it all. Losing sight of her goals, she must find her way back to the dreams and ambitions which brought her there in the first place. Number 4. A Burning Hot Summer, 2011. Director, Philippe Garrel.
Bonjour.
Ciao.
Frédéric vivait avec Angèle, une actrice de cinéma qui tournait en Italie.
Frederick Louis Garrel is a painter and lives with Angèle Monica Bellucci, a young woman who makes a living as an actress for Italian cinema. One day, Frederick meets Paul, Jérôme Robart, through an acquaintance of his. This young man aspires to become a good actor, but has to settle for the moment with his job as an extra. Despite the dissatisfaction that these roles cause him, the reward comes soon when in one of his performances he meets Elizabeth, Céline Salette, a very pretty young woman who shares a profession with Paul. The two fall in love and begin a relationship. Number 3. Back Roads, 2018. Director, Alex Pettyfer.
Want to come in for a minute?
Is there anything I can do to help?
Harley Altmeyer has to care for his 3 sisters after his mother is placed in jail for killing his abusive father. Living in the coal town of Laurel Falls, in the backwoods of western Pennsylvania, Harley lusts after a mother of 2 who lives down the road. Harley's life is further complicated when he becomes the lead suspect in a local murder mystery, based on the novel Back Roads by Tawny O'Dell, a New York Times bestseller and an Oprah Book Club selection. Number 2. Careful What You Wish For, 2015. Director, Elizabeth Allen.
You're Doug, right?
I'm Lena. I locked myself out.
Every year, Doug, Nick Jonas, spends the summer vacation with his parents at their lake house. This time, however, the vacation is different than usual. When a successful investment banker, Dermot Mulroney, moves into the house next door with his attractive wife, Isabel Lucas, 18-year-old Doug is impressed. His neighbor seems to have everything you could want: a great lake house, lots of money, a yacht, and a beautiful wife. The young man, who wants nothing more than to get a piece of it, throws himself into an affair with the seductive Lena, which soon costs him dearly. Number 1. The Only Living Boy in New York, 2017. Director, Mark Webb.
Innocent, Thomas. And you've got no idea how the world works.
I know some things.
Like what?
Thomas Webb, a recent graduate student from a wealthy family of New York publishers, secretly dreams of becoming a writer, lackluster, and often awkward with girls. He's still a teenager in his head, until the day he surprises his father in the middle of a romantic date with a very beautiful woman. Obsessed by this vision, he decides to discover the identity of this extramarital affair, and very quickly manages to meet Johanna. Against all odds, she decides to make Thomas her other lover, torn between morality and passion. Thomas will experience his entry into adulthood in a tumultuous way.